Hey guys, so today we have a Pangender Pride look, and I looked up the flag, and all of the colors are really light and bright. Nothing I own is really light and bright, so we're gonna make this work with the same colors, just probably not as light. But we are gonna get started because you guys didn't come to see me ramble, you came to see a Pangender look. And we're starting with a primer, and this one is the Milani Prime Corrector because I've been really red lately, so we're trying to correct that a little bit today. We'll see how well that goes. And I'm just getting plenty because I don't remember how well this stuff covers, and I don't want to be sorry for not having enough later. I'm putting it a little bit heavier where that I've been really red. There we go. And now just spreading it out. I'm just using a finger because I don't have a specific brush for this. I can probably find a specific brush for it or use one of the spare brushes that I have. But I just haven't and don't. So yeah. And hopefully tomorrow I will be going to get that brush cleaning stuff. So that I don't have to keep just wiping them on makeup wipes right now. Because I mean, that does so much with cleaning them, but it only does so much with cleaning them. So, you know, I don't want to just continue to do that and not try and clean them up any better or anything, because that's unhealthy for your skin, just continuously layering on the same makeup onto your brushes and then not expecting, you know, to do damage to your skin. Alright, cool. That covered pretty well. It covered a little bit better than I thought it did. So that's primer. Now we move on to actual foundation. And my phone went off. Did my mom text? No. I will check what that is in a little bit. But when you do primer, it does not take as much foundation-wise, because your skin doesn't absorb the foundation, so you can use less. And I do 2 colors of foundation, just because that's the way to match my skin. That's the only way to really match my skin that I have found. I'll do one that's a little bit lighter, one that's a little bit darker, and mix them, and I try to do a double ratio of light to dark, the light being the double, but sometimes I fail at that. And you know, today has not been a super productive day. I meant to get up and about and be productive, but then depression decided to say, nope, we're just gonna lay in bed all day. And I was just like, oh, okay. I guess we're gonna have a lazy day and get to do all my chores tomorrow. Or in the 10 minutes I hope to have before I have to leave the house for work. Which, thank God, it's only dishes today. No one left me out laundry or anything, but it's still just like, that sucks. I hate it when that happens, but you know, depression does not always agree with your plans for the day. And I'm doing pretty good just to film a video and get ready for work right now. And this is like stuff I love to do. And I sound all bright and happy and energetic. I'm not. Not at all. I put on a good face, though. I make it look like I'm damn well happy and energetic. And I'm sorry about the cursing. I don't normally curse in my videos, just today is one of those days where I can't really seem to here. I do try and be mindful about cursing because I am aware, as much as my videos are marked not for children, they will still somehow reach the eyes of a little 10-year-old if they search the internet far enough. And so I try and be mindful of all cursing and stuff, just in case. That they do find the little 10-year-old that is trying to get into makeup. Alright, there's foundation. Onto concealer. Where's my magical eraser? It was here. And I call it my magical eraser because to me, concealer is the eraser of makeup. Hold on, where did my glasses go? Because I've lost my concealer! And I need that. Like, badly need that. Where did it go? Wait, where did it actually go? Because I grabbed it, obviously, because this is stored with it, and I have this. Hold on. There's always problems when I go to film. Today, I've lost my concealer that I had 2 seconds ago. Hold on. Ah. That's just brushes. This is a brush. These can go over there. This can come here. This can go there. Go there. There it went. I found it. Sometimes you just need to organize your makeup a little bit to be able to find what you're looking for. It's why I normally try and organize my makeup by step before I start filming, but today I just didn't do it. But anyway, concealer. Yes, that thing. It goes under our eyes. Because I don't care if you're a model, you have the bags. There's no shame in having the bags. Everyone has them. And we're doing a little 3-petal flower on a forehead. And then down the bridge of our nose. And you know what happened yesterday with the bright makeup that I had on? My boss complimented it. I was just like, what? I was like, yay! And I put some on my chin because I like to highlight an area that's not going to have bronzer. But, you know, that one's up to you. And then cover any of those little imperfections that you think exist that I probably wouldn't see if I ever met you. Glasses on or not. Especially if it's an or not. Because I'm blind without them. Yeah. And after Pride Month, you guys will see a slowdown in my film uploading. That's just because after Pride Month, I'm going to try and take a little bit more time for me and a little bit less time of legitimately just going to work, coming home, doing chores, and sleeping. And filming. Like, that is what my schedule consists of right now. And it sucks. So we're going to try and fix that. Alright. There we go. I think I have concealer everywhere it needs to be. Keep this kind of close because I swear it's the eraser of makeup. It really and truly is. And then just blend it out. Try and blend it out as best you can. This is the closest match in makeup that I have ever found to my skin. So I like this concealer a lot, and I'm gonna have to buy more of it soon. Because I'm running so low on it, but I will try and do that tomorrow. Because I'm hoping, again, to go out shopping and get... Or, I don't know that I told you guys, but I'm hoping tomorrow, after I go and visit my family for a little while, because I know I won't be allowed to stay long, that I get to go to Walmart and hopefully find a brush cleaner. I really want to find a brush cleaner. But anyways, it's beside the point. We are moving on to bronzer and highlight and blush. And this is the palette I'm using for my bronzer and my blush. I've used it for the past couple of videos. I like it. It's a pretty color. And bronzer is the first one that you do, and it goes along your hairline, down your jaw, and you're going to suck in your cheek, and it goes in the hollow of your cheek. It's like you're accentuating the natural shadow that happens when you suck your cheeks in. It makes your face look a little skinnier. And then just mimic it on the other side. And just make sure that you have enough, like up in your jawline and stuff, or in your hairline and stuff, so that it doesn't stand out, you know, like blend it out a little bit, but also that it actually does its job and, you know, thins your face out and adds the shadows that naturally would be there if we were a little skinnier people. As we are not. And there's no shame to that. We are still stars just because we ain't skinny. Just, you know, we ain't a skinny person. So, we gotta make the shadows exist that don't. And now blush. And with the blush that's in this palette, it does not take much, hardly at all. And yeah, you guys can see, like, blush exists, and I barely did any of it. This is a really, really good blush. The bronzer, either it's just really light compared to what I'm used to, or it's not as well pigmented, and I can't figure out which it is, but it's one of the two. Oh, I missed a bronzer step. Ah. So we're going to take this brush and get bronzer on it, and we're going to contour our nose. So we're going to go up, top, middle, bottom, and then connect the dots. And try and follow the natural curve of our face as much as we can while we do this. Because it creates a natural shadow. Or a natural looking shadow. It's not a natural shadow, we're creating the shadow, but it makes it look a lot more natural when we do that. And just again, top, middle, bottom, connect the dots. And we're connecting it from our eyebrow down. So that it looks like our nose is skinnier. Because it'll make the eye socket look more sunken in. There we go. Okay. Now we move on to highlight. And I'm using this palette. Hopefully you guys can read it. And I'm using the darker of the two today. Because I used the pink yesterday. And I liked how it looked, but I want to see how the darker one looks. So, just get as much highlight as you feel comfortable with. And then make sure you shine like the star you are on the top of your cheekbone. And blush should be in between your bronzer and your highlight. If you're putting your highlight on top of your blush, then you went a little bit too high in your blush. And you just take your concealer and dab it on the spot and then blend out. Easy, simple fix to it, but it is a necessary one. I didn't bring my blush out bright enough on either cheek, so I just had to fix that really quick. But anyway, highlight is a simple step. It takes like 20 seconds and it makes you shine like a star. And then we blend. And if you don't have a blending brush like the one that I'm using, don't worry about it. Just get an extra powder brush or something along those lines to use instead, to make sure that you're still blending it out and still making it look as natural as possible while you're doing makeup. And I just sit here and blend for a minute to make sure that they blend out really well and there's no hard edges. Before that, I do my finishing powder, which I use, hold on, I use this one, the CoverGirl Clean Professional. Personally, that one I just find works. And then you're going to want to set everything aside because it goes all over your face and it makes a little bit of a mess. But it sets your base makeup to make sure that it's harder to get it to come off. I think, honestly, setting powder and setting spray are the only reason my makeup lasts all night at work. Because it definitely should not have lasted last night when I was sent downstairs and ended up down there for several hours. But it did. Somehow. And I mentioned that we have the Pangender flag today, right? We've done the pink for it. That was what our blush was. Now we have orange and yellow and white. And the orange and yellow are going to be our eyes. And the white, I think we're going to do as our lips. But this one's not very budget friendly because none of my palettes have more than one orange or yellow, unfortunately. That's just how it is. I forgot my makeup wipes because I have to clean my brushes because I forgot to do it before the video started again. So let me grab my makeup wipes really quick. I always forget something. Like, without fail, I always manage to forget something. I'm gonna have to pick up more makeup wipes when I go out tomorrow. Because I don't think this pack will last me past a month. If that. But that's not the concern. Let's get our brushes clean. And I only have 3 of them that need to be cleaned just because yesterday it was 3 colors, so I used 3 brushes. Which I'm sure you guys could have used 1 for. I just didn't want to sit here and clean them in between uses, so I did 3 brushes instead of 1. That one was 100% up to me. If you guys just wanted to use 1 for yesterday's look, if you go back and look at it for Trigender, then you can, and just clean it in between uses. And I didn't advertise what brush I was using because, you know, if you're going to use 1, then you can use 1, or if you're going to use 3, then use 3 that you're fairly comfortable with using in multiple ways. Because the way that I used mine was definitely not the way that they're intended to be used, but I did it anyway, and they're fine. And then again, I never really use my brushes the way they're intended to be used. So, there's that. And I'm just running it in between my fingers on the makeup wipe to try and get as much of this color out as possible. And like this green, I think is going to stain it pretty well. So I don't think I'm going to get 100% of it off. I'm trying to get like most of it so it doesn't screw up my makeup today. And then whatever I don't get, I'll hopefully get tomorrow or whenever I can get some brush cleaner. because I don't just want to use soap and water. I feel like that'll destroy my brushes really easy. So I'm kind of trying to avoid using it. Because I prefer to not destroy my brushes that I spent money on. They're a nice set of brushes. I'd like to keep them that way. My voice is going out on me. I haven't been talking a ton today, so my voice is just like, why have you decided to suddenly use me? What? And I'm just like, I need to. Alright, we're gonna do eye primer next. Eyeshadow primer because it saved my eyelids yesterday. Oh, I forgot to shake it. I mean, my eyes still ended up stained, but they didn't get stained near as bad as they normally do. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which of my brushes I normally use. This one is first. This one is second. This one is third. This one is fourth. I'm going to use my other brush to apply the primer today and see if that helps it apply more evenly or not. But you need to shake your primer before you use it. Oh god, my arm is so flabby. I'm just seeing the flab in the camera and feeling it move and being like, oh my god, that's just a terrible thing to watch. There we go. And now we apply the primer. And I personally have never applied the primer with a brush. So this is a new experience for me. So I'm just like, how is this going to apply? Is it going to apply okay? But it seems to be applying okay. I think this is actually applying more evenly than when I try and do it with my finger, honestly, so I'm not going to complain. My hair keeps getting in my face. Which is just being a pain in the butt, but you know, oh well. I think I have it mostly covered in primer, or at least as covered as I'm going to get it. So, I'm going to clean this now because I don't want it to sit in primer. I'm just cleaning it against my leg. Because I don't think the primer is as much of a risk to stain the brush as like the eyeshadows is. But there's that. So now we move on to colors. And it's orange and yellow on the eyes. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Do I want the brightest color on the bottom? What do I want to do? I don't know yet. Yes, I have lots of eyeshadow palettes, I'm aware. I've lost my dollar store one somewhere. Here it went. And the thing you don't want to do is have a shimmer on the bottom. I'm 100% against having a shimmer on the bottom. That just does not work well. You know, I think we're going to go with brightest on the bottom. So we're going to have Marigold, as is the color on my Spectrum palette, the yellow here, as our base color. So we're going to take it, and it goes all over our eyelid. All over it. And make sure it's plenty dark because that orange is going to make it try and blend in. We don't want it to blend in. We want it to stand out. Yellow is a pretty good base color just because it's so light. Everything else will take really easy to it. But that also makes it a terrible base color because everything takes so easy that it's really easy to have a mess up that screws up an area that you don't want to cover. So, yeah. There's that. And I used to say that this makeup was for monolids, and I think monolids can still use it and have it look good. But I've learned recently I am apparently not a monolid like I thought I was through all of high school, because that was what everyone told me I was. I am a hooded double lid. Which means I have the crease, but when I open my eyes all the way, the crease is so deep that you can't see anything on that section of my eye. That's why people hated doing my eye makeup, because they always were like, it's such a waste to do this section of your eye because it's not going to show. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't control how my eyes are made. I've tried. It did not work. And I'm just making sure it's plenty bright, because I do want it to be blah. English is difficult. I want it to be plenty bright and stand out. I wish I spoke another language, but I only speak English, so it's not even like I have the excuse of I'm trying to switch between languages. No, I just screwed up in speaking. That's all that it comes down to. Which is really sad, because I do that a lot. Alright, there we go. And what do you guys think about my makeups? I want to know. Let me know by liking the video if you like it, or leaving me constructive criticism. We're not just being mean in the comments. If you're mean in the comments, your comment will get deleted. But leave me constructive criticism and stuff like that. I want to hear from you guys. Also, in the comments, in the same comment that you're giving me constructive criticism, let me know what you guys want to see after Pride Month. I have a Hogwarts themed mini-series to go through for all of Hogwarts as a whole, and then all of the individual houses. But I want to know what else you guys want to see, so please let me know in the comments below so that I can try and figure out something to do for that. And I have all the Twilight books, which I know I'm probably going to get hate for, but I have all the Percy Jackson books. I have all of the Kane Chronicles, which is written by the same author as the Percy Jackson books. I have all of the, pretty much second chapter of the Percy Jackson books. I have all of the crossover books between the Kane Chronicles and the Percy Jackson books. Like, I have all kinds of books, y'all. I have... One of these days I'll have to go through my collection with you guys to let you know, like, this is the kind of stuff I read. But, yeah, that won't be today. We're moving on. I have the base done. Taking a crease, or not a crease, a angle brush. And we're going to use the same Spectrum palette. And we're going to use the orange that is called Beat on it. I'm going to go a third of the way in on our eyelid, draw a line straight down, and fill in behind it. And these colors are all a lot brighter than on the flag because this is what I have. I don't have dull, or not dull, but like pastel colors. So we have to make the bright ones work. But I'll have to go through my, like, book collection and stuff with you guys just so that you guys can see, like, I am a complete and utter nerd. I have Fairy Tale the anime, which I'm sure some people will know what it is, and some people will not. I have some of their books, specifically the Fairy Girls mini offshoot. I have, like, 3 of those books. I have the first Fairy Tale book. I have watched the anime up to a point. I cannot find any more of it on YouTube, and as much as I keep getting various anime things recommended to me. I just end up not going onto them as much as I should because, yeah, I'm lazy. I have all kinds of stuff. I had a Warrior Cats book at one point or another. It got lost. I have the Guardians of Gahoo, which is a cute little series for any parents that want to give it to their kids. And also reinforces that this generation was raised on books about revolution. Like, that entire series consists of lots of fighting against a corrupt system. And I just say that this generation was raised on revolution because a lot of the books that we read as kids, a lot of the movies that came out when we were kids, had a revolution against a corrupt government in one form or another. In whatever form that was, it's up to you to decide, but, you know, Harry Potter, Divergent, Twilight even, had a big revolution against, the government at the end of it. Against the vampire government. Like, guys, we were raised on revolution. And I have the Divergent series, too. That's all I'm gonna say on that, but yeah, that's my thoughts on how we were raised. We were raised on a revolution and fighting and, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yes, Mom? Oh, yay! I'm not going to show the picture, but my mom just sent me a picture of her and my stepdad in hats with their football teams, like I bought myself. I'm a Broncos fan. They are a Raiders and a Cowboys. My mom is the Raiders, my stepdad is the Cowboys. I bought them both hats. I got me a hat, and I'm very happy with it. Now then, we're going to use the orange off of my NYX palette. We're going to use the orange. And we're going to do a straight line along the bottom of our eyes that's a little bit thick because it gives an extra pop of color, because it's an extra shade of orange that's like, oh, that exists? What? And you'll see that we're going to do more yellow in a second, just not with this palette. And both these were from Walmart, by the way, both the palettes. But anyway, yeah, they sent me that picture. My mom just sent me that picture, and I'm so happy. I'm like, yay, they're getting use out of their hats. I was pretty sure my stepdad would, but I wasn't sure my mom would use hers, because she doesn't tend to wear hats out and about. But she's using it, so I'm very happy. Oh my god, this orange does not want to take on top of the yellow. It's taking a lot to get this orange to take. On top of the other orange it takes, but it's just such a light shade, I guess, that it does not want to take on top of this yellow at all. And so it's taking me a minute to get it to do its thing. I was talking about something before I got distracted by the picture. Oh yeah, my books. Like, I have all kinds of books. I have a lot of them. I'm looking back at my bookshelf and realizing how many books I have and being like, oh god, I am such a nerd. But that's okay. Being a nerd is not a bad thing. Being a nerd is a good thing. It shows that we are knowledgeable. I'm not abandoning this palette. I refuse to abandon this yellow, or this orange, off this palette. You can kind of tell that it's orange. Okay. You can more so tell that it's orange on top of the other one. But you can tell it's orange now. So this one's going to take a minute or two of you getting it set before that you can actually tell that it's orange. But it is a good color. I just didn't want to use my other palette. For whatever reason, I like avoid this palette that I have on my mirror like hell. I don't know why I do it, I just know I do it. I'm just like, avoid, 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 avoid. Don't use this palette. Even though it would probably have a better orange than this one. I think just because I'm so invested in using my NYX palette, because it is the first eyeshadow palette that I bought for myself, then I'm like, I must use it somehow in all of my looks. Even though that is so unpractical. Impractical? Unpractical? I don't know. I'm tired. Can you tell? No, depression hasn't kicked in big time. Not at all. And yes, I actually do have depression and anxiety. They suck. Especially together. Like, when they're both acting up, and you're having an anxiety attack, but can't get yourself up or do anything to calm yourself down because you have no willpower to, it sucks. I'm grateful that today just depression is acting up so far. But, you know, we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Because I still have work. Which is going to suck. I know it's going to suck. I don't want to go in. But I have to, so I will. I think I finally got enough of the orange on this second eyelid that I'm okay. Yay! Go away. Now then, we're going to take this little brush, and we're going to take my... Yeah, I remember how bad this is to put on. We're going to take my dollar store palette, and you see this gold that's here? We're going to use that. And we're going to put it in the corner of our eye as a little bit of shimmery sparkle to once again reinforce the fact that we are complete and utter stars and we will shine and show it. And then it will go, hold on, let me get more of this on my brush. It will go under our eyebrow as a highlight. The only issue with using super light and bright colors is finding another color that is light and bright that stands out against it that is not white. Especially when you don't want to use white for this part of your eye because you know you have to put both the stripes of yellow and orange in here. And so you're like, I have to use 2 yellows and 2 oranges because that is what is fair. You cannot do just 1 yellow and have 2 oranges. You must have 2 of each. There we go, there's that. But the yellow will, or the white will exist on my face. It will be on my lips. And technically this gold, in the right light, looks white. Like the shimmery, sparkly part of it looks white in the right lighting. So technically this could also be the white, and you could do orange lips or yellow lips to make it blend in with the makeup more if you're still in the closet. Just, I try and incorporate them in ways that it's not, you know, quite as subtle. That's why I did my blush a little bit darker today. That's why I did orange and yellow, eyeshadow. That's why I'm doing white lips. So I'm like, yes, subtlety is good, but at the same time, you want to stand out a little bit. It doesn't have to be a ton, but you do want to stand out a little bit. So now for the white lipstick. This one is by Revlon, and it is their Sparkling Quartz one that I really like the color of, but it takes a lot to get the white to show. especially on my upper lip for whatever reason. It's like that lip is more pink and does not want to take to the white. But there it is. Alright. And that's it for the look. The Pangender flag is done. Yay! Hold on. I'm moving stuff so I can actually lean into the camera and show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I have to go get ready for work now, so that's a thing. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow with the next look.